Many of the issues that are presented in Hedda Gabler we as an audience can empathize with today, despite the fact that this play was written over 120 years ago in Norway in a fairly different social context. In Hedda Gabler, gender takes an important role as really the struggle of Hedda is largely in part due to how little control over her own life she has, which greatly stems off of her being a woman. This is especially apparent in the economics of the household, as Hedda is unable to make any economic decisions since George is allegedly the one making the money in the family. Even though Ibsen wrote this kind of a plotline for Hedda based on the social context of his era, in which women were essentially denied from participating in most economic activities, it is likely to speak on some level to Venezuelan women today. In addition, this kind of economic struggle for women is really applicable to many places, most notably in the Middle East currently, and would likely draw audiences not only in Venezuela, but with many women in the world. For the most part, the success of this play as a telenovela would depend on capitalizing on the gender struggle. That is not to say, however, that it would rely solely on the gender issue, as economics also play an important role and are still relevant today. As economic issues always draw some interest, this would again make the adaptation a likely success. We'd also really have creative freedom over most of the project, so some situations could be better changed to suit the Venezuelan public, such as issues with employment and money that Tesman has. To put it into context today, we could change it so that it's not a job he's looking for, but problems being caused by the hyperinflation and issues with payments of the house, as Tesman's salary can't pay for it due to essentially earning less every day. Hedda's military background could also be capitalized on, as the military in Venezuela is a point of interest for many viewers, considering the active role that they tend to play on our day-to-day lives, which is unusual in most countries. Finally, as a side note, in order to appeal to the cleaning women who watch telenovelas while they work, we could develop Berto more as a character to attract more interest from that demographic. As it is, however, some aspects of Hedda Gabler would link with the modern audience and cause some level of following if it were to be adapted to a telenovela.
And especially pleased on Hannah's account. Often and often before we were engaged, she said that she would never care to live anywhere but in Secretary Falk's villa.
Yes, I was lucky that this very house should come into market just to meet us started.
Yes, Aunt Julia. The luck was on our side, wasn't it, eh?
But the expense, my dear George, you will find all this very expensive.
Yes, I suppose I shall, Aunt.
Oh, frightfully. Now you've got the wife of your heart, my dear George.
Oh yes, Aunt Julia, Hedda. She's the best part of it all. I believe I hear her coming, eh?
Good morning, my dear Aunt Julia. How early it is for you to come. That is kind of you. Oh, if you could only understand how poor I am, and fate has made you so rich. So, you think it's quite out of the question that Tesman joins the ministry?
You see, my dear Mrs. Hedda, to get into the ministry, he would have to be a tolerably rich man.
And now, I beg you to receive Eilert Goldberg in your home. Kindly if he comes to you. And he's sure to do. You see, you were such great friends in the past.
Have you heard anything of Eilert? Since I went away, I mean.
Only that he is said to have published a new book.
Hi, I'm back. I confess, it would be more than painful to me if Eilert Lovberg were to be made free for your house. How superfluous, how intrusive it would be if he were to force his way into
the triangle?
Precisely. It would simply mean that I should find myself homeless.
So, you want to be the one cock in the basket. That is your aim?
Yes, that is my aim. And for that, I will fight with every weapon I command.
Well, now, my dear Julia, you really must have a glass of cold punch.
Oh, no, thank you. I never take anything of that kind.
Well, then you, Mr. Loveworthy.
Right, thank you.
No.
Neither does he.
But what if I say you shall?
Your health.
I think I'm going to burn your hair off after all.
Hedda, let me go! I'm afraid of you!
Do you recognize it? It was aimed at you once. You should have used it. I've never had control over my life, but now I do.